In Lakesh and Veritas, everyone, happy today. Welcome to our High Frequency Living Divination Workshop, Call for the Truth Divination Card Group Reading here on the Laota of the Sun YouTube channel. And tonight I'm honored to welcome Nichelle of the Sun as our guest. Thank you, Nichelle, for joining us tonight. And
Thank you for being. I'm so happy to be here in Lakesh and Bird's house, everybody.
thank you. So, a few announcements before we get started. High Frequency Living offers live streams which focus on high frequency living lifestyle topics like meditation and breathwork, wellness, and nutrition. Of the Sun classes and modalities like quantum light property clearing, soul translation, light body movement, and many other high frequency topics. I am Diane of the Sun, owner of In Lakesh Studio One, a franchise of the Sun. We offer quantum light property clearing services, truth and tea, call for the truth, divination card readings, and other services and products. And tonight, our highlighted of the Sun energetic support product is the Sacred Meditation Clearing Woods. And this one is Mac Noon, which is truth. It is the truth frequency. And they come in a small package or they come in a larger package. And inside here, it's a pretty large, this will last a long time. So if you're interested, it's available at inlakeshstudio1.com. Or if you have any questions, you can contact me at info@inlakeshstudio1.com. And if you're looking for some inspiration, you can book a personal call for the Truth Divination card reading. You can get some insight into what the truth is of your experience. You can ask a specific question or get a general reading. And it's our Truth and Tea service. So you can have a 1 card, 3 card, or 9 card reading, depending on how deep you'd like to go. And it is a remote service via GoToMeeting or in person if you're in the Atlanta area. I'd be happy to meet you there. So these cards are a great way to learn more about ourselves. And these cards it's a deck of 52 cards that have, they were created by Lota of the Sun. And they have maxims and a topic, a color, a number, numerology. So we'll be going over all of that today. And if you'd like your own deck of cards, they're available at inlakeshstudio1.com or ofthesun.com. And if you purchase your own deck of cards, then I will provide a complimentary 3 card reading. So you can order that at inlakeshstudio1.com or ofthesun.com. All right, I don't know. Something happened with Nichelle. I'm sure she'll be back. So join us next Friday, January 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern for a discussion with Lauren of the Sun, where we're exploring frequency in flowers and how to elevate with the flower realm. And welcome back, Nichelle. So if you missed the first 2026 in Lakesh Studio One Evolutionary Book Club with Laota of the Sun, check out the recording on this channel. There were many great insights into her book by Laota. Her book is Call for the Truth, which you can get on Amazon. But if you'd like an autographed copy, I have them available at inlakeshstudio1.com. Then in February, the first Friday of February, will be our next In Lakesh Studio One's Evolutionary Book Club. And we will be discussing the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And so this is a fabulous book that's been recommended many years by of the Sun. And Tavares will be joining us, Tavares of the Sun. with his insights, because there's so many references to of the sun that we are, and our light bodies, and all this stuff that we're going through right now. It's going to be a really great discussion. So I hope everyone can join us. So Of the Sun has the ongoing light body movement the first 4 Sundays of every month at 6 p.m. Eastern. And we are exploring the sacral chakra in January. So this Sunday will be our final session for January in the sacral. And then we will be starting in February with the solar plexus chakra, our sun. That is our sun, our solar plexus. So this membership is a great way to be introduced to and enhance your Of the Sun practices, ideas, modalities, etc. It is only $45 per month for access to all sessions, live and recorded. There's many, many meditations and documents that are included to review. So you can, and also not only do you have the current month, but you get to review all the previous months as well. So register at ofthesun.com for that. And Laota is teaching the soul translation, energetic sensitivities this month. And if you miss this class, the next soul translation class will be in March with the modality of reclaiming your sovereignty with freedom release. So that's going to be a wonderful class as well. And Tavares is teaching the Akashic Records reading class now, which is awesome. And I know Nichelle has been in it and saying it's awesome too. And he will be teaching the DNA activation class in February. So you can also sign up for an audit if you have had your DNA activated. You can sign up for an audit if you've been previously activated. And also, this class is a prerequisite. The DNA activation is a prerequisite class for the next Quantum Light Property Clearing Level 1 class, which will be offered in April. So check that out. And if you have any questions about any class, you can reach out at contact@ofthesun.com. So thank you everyone for joining tonight. Let's go to the chat and just see who's here. Just acknowledge everyone for now before we get started. Oh, wow, thank you. Oh my goodness, look at, there's lots of people tonight. Thank you. Lauren Cornell, Essential Tribe, so glad to be here. In Lakesh and Veritas, Cheryl, Tavares of the Sun, Cecilia, Stacy, Stephanie Singletary, Gina, in Lakesh and Veritas. Much gratitude and abundance and love and light to Diane, Nichelle, and the whole Of the Sun universe. Thank you, Gina. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. This is going to be such a wonderful night. Oh, I'm so excited. So before we start, though, I invite you to join me in raising our vibration. Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? Shall we call for the highest possible vibration? Shall we call forth aid and support from all that is? We are one with all that is. It is flowing through us now. We feel the universal life energy of all that is. Shall we call forth aid and support from all that is? We are one with all that is. It is flowing through us now. We feel the universal life energy of all that is. Shall we call forth aid and support from all that is? We are one with all that is. It is flowing through us now. We feel the universal life energy of all that is. Shall we call for the power of the divine feminine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with honor, respect, and gratitude? Shall we call for the power of the divine feminine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with honor, respect, and gratitude? Shall we call for the power of the divine feminine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with honor, respect, and gratitude? Shall we call for the power of the divine masculine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with integrity, discipline, and action? Shall we call for the power of the divine masculine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with integrity, discipline, and action? Shall we call for the power of the divine masculine to return to our world, bringing forth balance with integrity, discipline, and action? Shall we call for the truth? Shall we call to see the truth in all that we see? Shall we call to hear the truth in all that we hear? Shall we have the courage to speak the truth? Shall we invite nothing less than the truth into all of our experiences? Okay. So we're ready to call for the truth. So thank you again, Michelle, for joining tonight. This is going to be a wonderful question tonight. We're going to ask is, what is the truth message that all of us need to know regarding our love of ourself?
Mm.
So these cards are, as I said before, there's 52 cards, and they relate to, they have a maxim, which is a quote from Lota, and some of them are in her book, and some are from classes and different things that she's said over the years. There's the topic at the top. There's a color. There's a number or numerology. It's related to a platonic solid, related to our chakra system. So there's many layers. So as we go through, we will go through all the layers of the cards. So the process that we use is we knock 3 times to clear the cards from previous readings. And we synchronize and harmonize with the cards because they have consciousness. So we make sure that we are in agreement, they're in agreement with us. And then the first question I generally ask is, how many cards will be for this reading? And I use my sun calibration, my body calibration, and ask, shall we do a reading of 1 card tonight? And I got no. Shall we do a 3-card reading tonight? And I get yes. So we will do a 3-card reading tonight. And then as I'm shuffling the cards, I'm asking the question, what is the truth message for all of us regarding our love of self? And bring forth the best message for all of us tonight. So what we'll do is we'll do each card as I'll pull the 3 cards, but we'll do them separately. We'll do 1 card at a time and discuss each card so that we can all have time to. And I encourage everyone in the chat also to put your comments and questions in as we do a reading of the card. So the first card is the past card, and Michelle, if you could read it, please.
We are looking at consciousness. You are either the deliberate conscious creator of your own experience or give your conscious consent to another, and then they can also move forward to create your circumstance. Number
Thank you.
7.
Yes, this is, I think this was just brought up recently in
Yes, it was last week.
like, looks familiar
which resonates with the fact that it is in the past because we got it last
because it was,
week.
yes.
I love it.
Oh, that is so interesting. And so the book, because there is a book that comes with the cards, and the book says this happens by default and by design.
Mm,
So sometimes we know we're giving our power to someone else. Oh, you do it, you do it, you do it. And sometimes we don't understand that we are. We've
mhm,
come into a relationship or something and we've said, okay, I'll acquiesce to you. And we can't do that. We need to be our own self. And if we want to live our own movie. So this is for the crown chakra, which is about awareness and divinity and oneness. And it is the color violet, which is about imagination and spirituality, creativity, psychic awareness, mystical, unity, and royalty. And the flip side, though, that we have to be aware of is moodiness, decadence, and entitlement. So we have to make sure if we feel we're slipping into any of those, call for the highest possible vibration and get out of that. And this is the number 7. And number 7 seeks answers, tries to establish an ideology by which to live, and attempts to penetrate the mystery behind its existence, which it has never questioned to this point. Number 7 feels the need to spend time alone, away from crowds, in touch with nature, seeks friendships with an elevated consciousness that is harmonious.
mm,
And also about the crown chakra, that's where we receive a lot of information. So we want to keep that chakra clear. And this is the dodecahedron, the ether element, about ascension and divinity, oneness, connecting with our spirit energy. And this is also where we've been in the Akashic class.
Yes, ma'am.
Tavares says, activate the dodecahedron. Like, okay, and let's stay in this area up here. This is the ethers. So this card, even though it's the past card and it was in the past, it has the opportunity to keep us holding back, or we can use it to move forward because it still affects us. Even though it's the past, it's not like, oh, it's over. It's still operating there in our experience. So we choose whether we're going to let it stop us or move forward. And so when you're conscious of giving your power to someone else to create your life,
Mm,
you can choose to change that. And
mhm.
that's what you do moving forward. So that's a way to use that card as the past moving forward. So, Michelle, do you have any comments you'd like to share about this card?
Yeah, I just think that it's so synchronous that we had this very card. And I wrote it down last week because I thought it was interesting. Something told me to write down the cards that we did last week, and of course the energy behind them, and even our herbal allies. So I wrote it all down. And last week, consciousness was the present card. So to see the thread, like you mentioned, like even though at one point it was our present, it's now considered our past, but we're still carrying the thread of that experience into our now. So it's like everything is existing all at the same time, past, present, and future. And we're still dealing with those things. And but that means we also have the empowerment to effectively change that which we that no longer serves us. So I find that to be incredibly enlightening. The idea of the consciousness, either you are deliberately creating your reality or someone else is. This speaks so much to what everyone is experiencing now with all of the different types of events and circumstances that are kind of happening on a global level, even just in your own respective reality, that what's happening in your experience is it needs your conscious permission. It needs your consent to be there. So if you're no longer allowing yourself or wanting to be a part of that experience, you now can withdraw your consent, which is interesting because you did mention that Lotus class about sovereignty is coming up in March. So this all fits in alignment with that, by the way, side note. um,
Yes, thank
so
you.
allowing ourselves to be empowered with the truth and the understanding that we are consciously creating either our own experience or we have consciously given consent to someone else to do so. But either way, we are a part of that process. We are not exempt from it. We are not what we believe to be, which is victims of circumstance. We're really not. We have the power to make those choices. And I think this is reminding us that we had it in the present, we have it in the past, and we will continue to have it in our existence. So this is just a beautiful card that's come up. I'm just so enamored about I can go on all day. So yes, this is beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, it is wonderful. And there's a comment in the chat that really speaks to this that says, um, True Intentions 144 says, I have been psychically attacked. How do I stop this? Someone or something keeps attacking me. And what you said was just beautiful because what you said, Nichelle, was so beautiful because we give power to let someone do that to us. If we do
Mhm.
not let them do that, they can't attack us.
No.
We can stop them from coming at us, but we can stop them from attacking and us taking it on
Because
ourselves.
it's your permission. They need your permission. Your consent is required for every single aspect of your life. From the
Yes,
work that you do, from the people in your lives, from the food that you eat, from the air. You need to say yes. And
ex-
if you're not saying yes, then you're saying no. And whatever that energy is immediately collapses by you deciding to say no to it.
that's
So,
right.
by even saying yes to the attack, this going to continue, but you can say no to it and then stay fervent in your no that that's not who you are and that's not what you want to experience and be consciously aware of that and continuously choose it. And I know sometimes that can be hard based off of programming and environment and circumstances and family histories, but we're being gifted such a beautiful time right now to consciously decide how we're going to carry on into the future. So decide that you're no longer a victim of that attack. You're no longer a victim.
Yes, thank you. And Lauren mentioned, I'm hearing the ancestors say, remember who you are in support of this card.
Which I hear all the time. It's so funny because Lauren actually is one of the people that I had tutoring with, and I brought that up to her. You're constantly being reminded of who you are. You're constantly telling you're hearing it in a lot of different ways, whether it is through divination cards or maybe a podcast or a song or something in you is saying that where you're standing and where you are is not in alignment or in resonance with your true being and who you are, and giving yourself consent to finding that then starts to collapse everything that's not in alignment with it, but you have to
That-
consciously choose it.
That's right. You have to give yourself consent to do
Mhm.
that, to find out who you are. And then Tavar said, that's a deep interpretation. Yes, consent is everything. And then True Intention says, I have to go into full deliverance, Holy Spirit mode to get rid of it because it is extremely strong. Yes, whatever you have to do, you have to do. Cheryl says, thanks, I needed that. Lauren said, yes. Uh, and True Intention said, I got it. Thank you. You're welcome. Hopefully that is helpful. And Javar said, True Intentions 144, we encourage you to book a free consultation with us at Of the Sun. We teach energetic protection and defense. That is, yes. If you go to ofthesun.com, there's a free discovery call that you can have with Tavares. And then I think it's in March, he's going to be teaching the energetic protection and defense class. But I believe there also is a energy hygiene 101 class that's available um, by just a recording. So hopefully that will help you. True Intentions 144. We have a lot of options and solutions to assist you. So thank you for all the comments. This is awesome. And thank you, Nichelle.
I'm glad to
So
be here.
this is the present card. So the present card is
Balance. Get on board with yourself. Be congruent. Make your thoughts and actions match. It is not what you say, it is what you do or what you do not do. Wow. Number two.
and this
Wow.
is this is the sacral chakra that we're in the light body movement right now. And I see the connection with the first card already, that
Mm,
you have to be congruent, get on board with yourself, because either you're the deliberate creator or you're not. And so this is another reminder that this is where we have to be right now. So this is the let's see. This is the sacral chakra, which is about creativity, sexuality, and pleasure. And the sacral chakra is also about the divine feminine because of
mhm,
creation. This is our creative energy. And during the light body movement, one of the things that Lota brought forward with the sacral chakra was the pelvic bone being our throne.
mhm,
And
mm,
so that is so powerful. I think of that all the time when I'm thinking of my sacral. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it's the throne. But that really also it shows that both sides are in balance.
mm,
So we always have to be in balance. And so this is orange, which is about enthusiasm, optimism, creativity, warmth, invigoration, and stimulation, getting things moving. It's also
mm,
related to the water element, so it's about flowing.
mm,
But the flip side is sluggishness, ignorance, and frustration. So we have to be mindful when we slip into those to jump right out of that. Don't stay
mm,
there. So number two, this is the number two. It's about the pair, the duo. It is changeable and adaptable and can be indecisive. It is the go between, the diplomat, and the peacemaker, because unity can only be accomplished through harmony of the minds, a
mm,
compromise on each side. Number two represents the feminine principle of receptivity, the yin, which seeks a union of two distinct entities. It is the gestation period in which things begin to form. Number two collects and assimilates. And also, the book has a little further maxim that says, your intention must be supported by your ardent actions. Everything must match to fully manifest the reality desired.
mm,
So, to be congruent, you have to be sure that you have a very strong intention to move forward and move into whatever you're saying. It's Lauta always says your word is bond. And so when you say something, you're going to do something, you do it because that is being congruent. That's when you're in balance. If you say I'm going to do this and then you don't, that's you're incongruent. So those are a couple examples. And so this is the icosahedron, Platonic solid, and this is about water. transformation, creativity, and connecting with the water energy. So, allowing things to flow. Don't be stagnant, especially in that area. One of the affirmations I like to say is I generously allow life to flow through me so that it just keeps going. And it's part of a mental causation from soul translation.
Hmm.
Um, and the beginning part is I release the past. I generously allow life to flow through me. And it's very helpful for me to remember don't get stuck in anything, keep moving. Because we can get things stuck in our bodies everywhere.
Mm.
A lot of times, what's going on is we did a book club with a book called the Mucusless Diet, and the author said at the very beginning, he says, constipation is everything. And it
Mm.
wasn't just physical in the digestive area. He was saying there's all congestion is constipation because it's stopping, it's keeping things stagnant. And so I think of that often with the flow. Let things flow. It doesn't help to keep it there. Let it go because it needs to be released so that things can keep moving. A river doesn't ever stop. When there's
Mm-mm.
a rock, it goes around it. It finds a way. It always finds a way. So, water is, we need to be like water and keep flowing. So, those were some of the extra things from the book and some of my comments. And Michelle, you have comments on that too?
Yeah, it's so interesting because I was thinking the same concept of water when you said flow, and how when in flow you find your ability to be in harmony, and in harmony you find that balance. If it's not in balance with me, I don't find that harmony, and then there is no flow. I feel stuck, I feel stagnant, I feel disconnected from what experience I'm supposed to be having because I'm not in flow. I also thought about with it being the sacral chakra, with it being the concept of creativity, and how oftentimes we can feel stuck there because we're not in flow. And we're often thinking that the reason for that has to do with something or someone, or that it's external, but it's the fact that we're incongruent with our own with ourselves. And we have to now get in alignment with that so that we can unlock the harmony, the balance, and the flow. It's beautiful that you brought up the sacral with it being a throne, because Laota said that it's the throne, but I'm so drawn to something that Lauren said about it being shaped like a butterfly,
Oh,
and the concept of the metamorphosis, and that in order for the butterfly to even become a butterfly, the caterpillar has to go through such an arduous task of one deciding that it wants to be that butterfly, and that this is the time for me to go through that process and to flow into possibly one of what appears to be, from an external view, one of the most painful processes of reconfiguring its own existence as one thing and moving into another to then become a butterfly. And that is creativity. It's using its energy of creativity in the way of flow to become its much grander, better part of itself. So sometimes it's not going to be the easiest thing for us to match, what we want with what we have to say, because we have to get through some of the mud of our past and our experiences and things that didn't serve us, and maybe even trauma and pain. But once you start getting through that and you start to elevate to finding that balance in yourself, you can then become the more harmonious, the more balanced, the more beautiful aspect of yourself, because you're allowing yourself to go through that process of that metamorphosis, letting go of a past perception of yourself to become greater and more harmonious into who you truly are. So that was there was so much behind that card that connected to quite a few experiences and classes and information that I've heard. And then, of course, in my own meditation with my guidance about being who I truly am and finding balance in that. And it also brought to my mind the heart, because that was one of the things that has come very strongly in my meditation about coming to heart center, to be balanced in all of my energy and all of my chakras, and the higher and the lower, finding balance and peace in that. So when you said balance, the heart came into play. We all know that these chakras do work together. So
Mhm.
my creativity for me comes from what I'm passionate about, what is heart centered for me, what feels good for me. And in that, I am in flow and I am in balance and I am in harmony with who I am. So this card is so loaded and there's so much meaning behind it. So it's so much, I find so much great wisdom in it. So yeah, thank you for this one. This was great.
Thank you. Yes, you've had so many wonderful comments about that card. I agree with the butterfly too, that it has to go through that metamorphosis to become the butterfly, but it has to decide that it's going to do that.
Yeah. And then we sometimes what we want to be, our thoughts are we want to be greater, but our actions don't match it.
And that,
But we can go through the process of metamorphosis. We can go through figuring out who we truly are and why those things aren't congruent, and then being truthful with ourselves. I feel like in metamorphosis, we have the element of truth, because I feel like the butterfly goes through finding its truth in metamorphosis to then once it finds its truth, it can come out of the cocoon.
yeah.
Um, so I find so much with that in so many different ways, and that we need to find in finding the truth while we're in metamorphosis, we can find our harmony. So
Mhm. Yes, and this is so interesting. This card came up for our self-love, what we need to do
mhm.
about loving self. So,
And
I'm
that's why the heart
that's
came up
why
for
the heart
me.
came for you, right? Yes. So, here's a few comments. Lauren said, agreed, Nichelle. Self love is created when we move through our experience to seek balance within all things.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you, Lauren. And Stacy, on point again, Nichelle. Beautiful visuals and connections. Thank you, Stacy. And True Intention said, for sure. Thank you. And Stacy said, these two cards really speak to the power of our decisions and choices. Yep.
Mhm.
The
Mm.
power of choosing helps us to align. Being in victimhood and helplessness takes away our power as it's
Mm.
disrespectful to our divinity. Yes.
Mm. And then you feel attacked. See, that kind of goes back to what True Intentions was saying about her feeling. You feel attacked because you feel helpless. But once you're consciously knowing who you are and in balance in that awareness of the truth of that, you're empowered. You're
Yes.
being who you are. You are in your divinity. Thank you for that, Stacey. Thank you
Mhm.
for that.
Yes. Thank you. So I'm just going back up a little bit. And True
Mm,
Intention says, thank you, Tavars of the Sun, and everyone. Thank you. And Tavares says, True Intentions, you're welcome. Stay radiant. And True Intention says, I will thank you. So hopefully you'll find that information at ofthesun.com. And Tavares says, loving the vibe tonight. Appreciate you both. Thank you, Tavares. And Lauren says, side note, the butterfly is in perfect balance with itself, with
mm,
itself. Each
yeah.
wing reflects the other, symbolizing
Mirrored.
the journey it took
Mirrored.
to get there. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Mirrored, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And Tavares said, you protect yourself by knowing who you are. And that's a quote.
Yes.
Yes, that is a Ota quote. And Gina says, beautifully said and felt to the heart and soul.
Mm. Well,
Yeah.
that's also when Tavares will give me you got to be clear. Be clear about who you are. Be clear about it. When you
Be
clear,
clear.
that's it. Yep.
Yes. Oh, this is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All righty. So we'll move on to the future card. And
Mm.
what does the future hold for us? All
Mhm.
righty. So the future is,
Truth. To know where you want to be, you need to know the truth of where you are now. The number 5.
Oh my goodness. This is, as always, they're always amazing.
Yes.
So, we're talking about what we need to know about loving ourselves, and we need to know that we're either the deliberate conscious creator of our own life or not. And
Hmm.
we need to get on board with ourselves to be the conscious creator and do that. And also then to know where we want to be, we have to know where are we right now and what do we need to do to take action. What action steps? This is so this is the throat chakra.
Mm,
So this is about truth and sound and communication. And when we call for the truth, this is what we're calling for. We need to know where we are, and where we are is not physically where we are.
mm,
This is about vibrational. Where we are is vibrational, not social, not geographical or economic. Your vibration is the truth of your experience. So, where we are now, we have to think about what is happening at this moment. We are calling it in. And as you said, you've said that before, Nichelle, we have to decide. And we are bringing everything into our experience, whether we realize it or not. And that's part of this being conscious about it,
yes.
understanding that we are bringing this forward and not saying, oh, so and so, oh, they were doing something. No, they could be doing something, but we've allowed
Mm,
it, and we are consciously bringing that experience into our own experience.
mm,
And so this is also the blue color. Blue, my favorite color is blue, which is peaceful and calm, relaxation and trust,
mm,
loyalty, sincerity, reliability, and communication.
mm,
However, the flip side is coldness, depressing, and gloomy. So we have to be sure we do not jump into that, and we jump right out if we see that coming. And the number 5 is freedom,
mm.
change, and adventure. Curiosity and constant activity produce a resourceful, adaptable, and versatile entity, always ready to take a chance.
Mm,
5 is midpoint in the cycle, 1 through 9, and it allows for decision making. Make a decision. It is a pivotal point in which the equations, now encased in flesh and form, must decide upon their future in the rest of the cycle, 6 through 9.
mm,
And this is about the dodecahedron. As we said before, it's the throat, the third eye, and the crown. So we're in the ethers, we're in the Akasha, which we're always in the Akasha, but we
yes.
need to speak the truth in the Akasha and
Yes.
hear the truth that comes forward in the Akasha as well.
Mm,
And that is ascension, divinity, oneness, connecting with our spirit energy. So it's interesting we have the dodecahedron in the past and the future.
yeah.
So to keep that movement, and then the sacral in the present. So do you have some more comments on that truth card?
Yeah, I find it's so intriguing because of I kind of touched on it a little bit when we were talking about the metamorphosis of getting into harmony, who we are. That in the metamorphosis, we are dealing with our truth.
Mhm.
And we're not, it's just not going to be comfortable at first, right? But it is going to birth the version of you that is in divine resonance with who you truly are. So we have, consciousness in the past, balance in the present, birthing truth in the future, where in your quest of self-love, you are willing to be completely honest, open, and vulnerable with who you are and where you are and be okay with that, because that's where your power is. Your power is not in the masquerade of pretending to be something for acceptance or to get others to like you. It's for you being truthful with who you are and owning that. And one of the um one of the other aspects of that card was very important to me, that number 5. And then we were talking about the the dodecahedron, which I thought was kind of interesting. But when you said number 5, you mentioned freedom, and I was just like, just thinking once again about that butterfly. Butterflies are free,
Yes.
but they're free because they finally went through the metamorphosis of the truth of who they are supposed to be, who they were ready to be, went through that painful process, and then soared to be exactly that in every aspect of their existence. They got to the truth of, I can no longer be a caterpillar. This form no longer serves me. I've lived my life as a caterpillar. It has been the most beautiful experience, and now I'm being called to something greater. And though it may be a painful process in me moving and changing into that, I know that when I get on the other side, I'm going to be free. And that's the truth of who I am. And there's freedom in my truth.
Oh,
So,
that's wonderful. Beautifully
so
said. Thank you.
wow.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
So there are a few comments. I'm going back here. Lauren says, loving the. Oh, here. Javar says, Lauren, that's a great point. Okay. They're all moving now. People are putting comment. Thank you. I'm trying to go back to uh, where we stopped before. All right, I'm going to start at the bottom and go back up because where it is, this is interesting. So Lauren says, Nichelle, bright insight, 100%. And Tavar says, what Nichelle just mentioned is an important component to the truth card. Acceptance of the truth of where we are allows us to clearly map our path into exaltation.
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Tavares. Thank you. Denial will keep us lost in the forest of illusion. Yes. And true intention says, oh, we. Awesome. And Stephanie Singletary said, how about you relentlessly love me so that I may relentlessly love you? And that's a quote from Laota. Like, yes, exactly. And True Intentions has some emojis here, 100 and the bullseye and a check mark. And Tavar says, that's right, always in the Akasha. And True Intention says, my sun sign in my chart is 8 of Cups. That matches. So I'm not quite sure. I don't understand that, but thank you for sharing. Um, and Gina says, perfect, on point. Yes, yes, yes. These are great cards and conversations. Thank you, Gina. And let's see, where are we at here? Stacy said the choices we make are based on where our consciousness currently is. Yep.
Mhm,
Being able to see the truth of self is the portal to freedom and higher
mhm,
levels of elevation,
mm,
as
mm,
hard as it may be. Yes.
mm.
Thank you, Stacy. And True Intention says, oh, something. I'm sorry. Um, you're speaking to me. Oh, okay, good. That this is it's speaking to me too. These whenever these cards come forward in a group setting, they do speak to all of us in certain ways. And
Mhm,
even though they are applicable to all of us, each of us are individual in our own path. We have some general things because we are all on the path, but we do have this, specific information for each of us. So I'm glad it's helping people. And Lauren says Tavares agreed. She agreed. And Romansky Productions, I think that's Julianne. She has a heart and prayers, and it looks like a meditation. So thank you. And True Intention says, it means walking to my freedom and truth. Yes, yes, absolutely. So I'd like to bring forward, thank you for all of your comments. I'd like to bring forward some of the herbal allies that are coming forward with these cards. They're always on point for me. So for consciousness, the first card, butterfly pea flower, has come forward, which came forward last week because we had this card too. And this brings light frequency. The butterfly pea flower brings forward extra light frequency for us. And then the balance card, what comes forward is spearmint.
Mm,
And spearmint is about creativity, free choice, flexibility, patience, sacrifice, new life, and divine feminine.
mm,
And when we're balanced, that sacrifice word is coming forward too for me. Like for the balance, you have to sacrifice something to be in balance.
mhm,
And so it's always being on that teeter totter.
mm.
And then the truth card, that is peppermint.
Oh, yeah.
And peppermint has come forward saying they want to be our spokes herb for all call for the truth cards
Mhm,
because they help with truth. They clear lies in areas so we can see, speak, hear, and feel the truth. And so, as you call for the truth, you can ask for assistance from peppermint tea to clear the lies so you're able to see the truth in your experience. And I think it's very interesting tonight because I chose peppermint tea and butterfly pea flower because I pulled a card this morning that was a crown chakra card as well. And so I have both of those in my tea for tonight. I was like, and that's so interesting they came forward. So now I just have to add some spearmint to it.
All right.
And then we'll have them all together because you can do them all together. You can do them separate, however it works for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. You introduced me to butterfly pea flower, so I'm drinking that. And I have plenty of peppermint. And let me get some spearmint, but I'm on board with you.
Awesome. Thank you. And when you have the butterfly pea flower, do you ever put lemon in it to make it purple
No, I don't,
or
but I'm
blue?
gonna do that. I just love it by itself. But yeah, I need to do
Yeah,
that because it is a very cool color. So
very cool color. Yes. So, all righty. Well, there's a few more comments here. Gina says it's definitely been a journey
Mm,
when being my truest self, and a lot of family and friends want me to go back to being the fake version of myself. You have helped me in knowing my true self. Oh, thank you, Gina. I
mm,
think we all have that type of story going on where a lot of family and friends see us one
mhm.
way because they're not willing to change, but we are. We want to move
Right.
forward, and they don't. They want to stay where they are, keep things going the way they are. And
Mm,
it's a challenge, but yes, when we know ourselves, we can move on and say, I decide to do this, and you decide to do that, and that's okay.
mm. Yep. And you know what's funny, Bridget? It's this is real funny, Gina, because even the person that they are asking you to be no longer exists
That's right.
because you have already evolved well past her that she's no longer even an option for you to step back into because once you become fully consciously aware and deciding on that truth of being who you are, she's no longer even available. But you deciding that and standing in your power and being that, they're just gonna have to either, become congruent with that in alignment, or they'll just find some other way to find to get to have a relationship with you that it's never going to be what it used to be because you're not that person anymore. That reality, that Gina no longer exists. So,
Hmm.
and this Gina is constantly evolving and changing too.
Yes.
So, who you are today, you're going to be well ascended beyond that tomorrow. So just keep evolving. They'll catch up.
Yes, or they will drop away.
There you
As
go.
Alicia has talked about with, relationships. She's recently talked about it in a couple of the live streams,
Yeah.
where we need to change relationships. And it doesn't mean that we don't talk to that person, but they've expired. The relationship in that way has expired. And
Hmm.
so the way that you were before has expired.
Yep.
And so that relationship is no longer available.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to move forward with that. And it doesn't mean that it's that we don't have to, let me see if I don't know if I can say it as eloquently as Lauta did, but about being ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
standing in that truth
Mm.
with that new relationship and
Yeah.
understanding that that person will either accept it or not.
Yeah.
And so either you're moving forward as yourself with that person or not.
Yeah. It's
So,
funny. When you were speaking, the first thing that came to my mind was the Toys R Us kids theme song. You know, people who always want to be a Toys R Us kid, and I just forever want to be a Toys R Us kid. Well, honey, Toys R Us don't even exist no more, so we can't be Toys R Us kids anymore. We got to be something else. like, like you just now at this point, it's time for you to evolve. Because Toys R Us, I remember that as a kid, like that was just like the biggest thing. Like, I just want to be in Toys R Us and I want to be a Toys R Us kid forever. And it's like, well, Toys R Us is no longer here. So now it's time for you to, put your big boy pants on and, go grow up because, Toys R Us is not even Toys R Us. Toys R Us keeps trying to come back and they keep getting shut down because that time and that era and that reality no longer exists. And you are no longer a person that is even in harmony with that reality anymore. So keep
exactly.
soaring and keep evolving. It's where everything is going now. Everything is evolving. Everything
It
is changing.
is.
So
And we have to be the conscious creator of our own self. So when
yep,
we see that these people are trying to pull us back, we consciously make that decision to say, I'm moving forward.
that's right.
Come with
That's
me if
right.
you'd like. I'm
Right.
happy to have you come with me, but if you don't, that's okay too. So,
Hey. And
yeah.
I will, I'll just love you from afar. And that's
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. It's just a change in that relationship.
Yep.
So, oh, Lauren is saying, I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. She's got the whole, yes. And LOL, this was such a brilliant call for the truth. Thank you to all sharing. You're welcome, Lauren. Thank you. And Gina said, wow, thank you. I've been saying that lately. RIP to the old me, always changing and evolving. Yes, keep saying that. That's so true. And Chavar said, LOL at Toys R Us. So that was a great. I remember that too. And Julianne says, we are all parting the one truth, which is light.
Mm,
We all
mm,
come from light. My truth is medicine. Or maybe she said, we all come for light. My truth is medicine. As a field of pure light, one frequency, we don't change anyone but our sense of what truth is
mm,
within to
mm.
serve from truth. Yes. Thank you, Julianne. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And Tavar says, Gina, she is gone. And I know you meant old Gina. The old Gina is gone. And Serenia says, thanks all. Very lovely truths.
Mm.
And I think there was one here, Gina. Okay. I think that was what we had started with. So, oh my goodness, this has been so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Michelle. I'm so grateful that you joined tonight. It was such a wonderful conversation. And thank you, everyone else who's joined in the conversation. It's been wonderful. And
Mm,
I hope you'll join us again. And it'll be a couple weeks before we get back into the Divination because next week we will be, Lauren of the Sun will be joining me and we will be talking about flowers
mm,
and the flower realm. So that will be interesting. And then the week after will be the book club with Tavares and the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. So please get this book. It's so interesting. I've had it a number of years and I've tried reading it and having trouble reading it. And then now it's much easier to read.
Mm,
And I've
mm,
picked up some things, but I also listen to it. I've
okay.
been listening on Spotify. If you have Spotify, it's free. They have audiobooks out there. And so I've been listening to that. And that's been helpful also to hear it being read. So, and then
Mm,
I hope everyone will join us for that. So thank you, everyone again.
thank
And
you
we'll see
guys.
you next time. Thank you, Nichelle. And I hope you'll come back and join us again.
Oh, most definitely. Thank you so much, Diane, and Lakesh and Veritas, to you and all of you guys. Thank you for allowing me to share space with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. In Lakesh and Veritas with honor, respect, and gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action.